Hello YouTubers, this is CJ Hot Wheels. It's been a while yet again since I posted a video. That's probably because I haven't been finding much recently. A lot of our stores are in a major slump right now, but I did manage to find a few cars within the last few days at Walmart, and then Publix's right now at this moment, as of the beginning of May, are starting to get in H-case cars, even though the cars I'm going to show you are from the H-case, so it won't matter at this point. But sure enough, I'll just go ahead and show what I found anyway. First off, this isn't an H-case car, but it's a really nice G-case car. It's a new casting. It's a 2016 BMW M2, which is definitely going to be a lot of people's favorite new casting this year because it's nice and clean, it's simple, nice metallic blue paint job, front and rear detailing, side view mirrors, a decent set of dark gray PR5 wheels. Very nicely done. Now on to the H cases. So first off, we have the 2017 Chevy Camaro ZL1 in a bright apple green. This is the super treasure hunt of the batch, but of course I don't have one because that would be too lucky. And then another apple green car. It's a recolor of the 017 Jeep Wrangler. Now, I mean, this one's okay. I mean, it looks too cartoony to be a Jeep Wrangler. Especially with those little door hole opening things right there on the doors. You see that? That little pattern? Yeah, I mean, I guess I grabbed it because I like the color. I mean, and Jeep Wranglers in real life are really cool anyway, so. Next up we have another recolor. It's on the 55 Corvette in dark blue. The first one this year was in black. And for the Jeep Wrangler, the first color was in red. Another recolor. Actually, you know what? I think this is part of the G case. Never mind. But it's a 70 Camaro. That's not an H case car. Another H case car recolor. It's the 85 Honda City Turbo 2 in black. I mean, it's about the size of a standard Hot Wheel, but in real life, if you look at one, they really are tiny. They're a micro car. But in order to confine to the 1/64 scale rule at Hot Wheels, it has to be the same size as a standard Hot Wheel. But here's a really cool one I didn't expect to find because a lot of these cars I found in a very picked-through dump bin. And just real quick, there's two ways in order to figure out if a dump bin has been severely gone through or not. The first clue is look at the blisters. If most of the blisters are beat, have a lot of edge wear, are torn, veins, are all bent or torn apart, that's how you know a dump bin's been gone through, because that's the result of people taking them out, dumping them out in a cart several times, and then putting them back in, throwing them back in, not really caring. That's one giveaway. And then number two, the most annoying part, is when people throw random stuff in the dump bin. Like they throw random toys in there, like swimming gear or DVDs or empty water bottles or empty coffee bottles. It's so ridiculous. I mean, they do it just for fun, or they do it because they're lazy, but those are the two giveaways that you can tell that a dump bin's been gone through. But the main thing is looking at the blisters. And if they're all mangled and beat up from several people going through them, emptying them out, and then putting them back in, then that's how you know. But because of that, I didn't expect to find this. The 70 Dodge Hemi Challenger in almost like a, it's like a salmon color. Very nice. Next up, we have the Porsche 918 Spider, which we haven't seen in a few years. But here's the thing. they labeled it as a new model. This isn't a new model. Hot Wheels released this car in 2013. They released it in silver, like this, first, and then they had a recolor of it in red that same year, and I think it might have been released in a 9-pack here and there, or maybe a 5-pack over the years. But this isn't the first time we've seen this car, but yet it's labeled as a new model. That's kind of a mistake. Unless they retooled it. That's the only other reason why they might have done that. Maybe they recasted the car and labeled it as a new model because of it. But I don't see any difference. So, this car's been out for 5 years. But it's very nice nonetheless, especially with those blacked out 10 spokes. Another new casting, an actual new casting, the McLaren 720S, which I was surprised to see a lot of these in the dump bin. I just kept pulling these out. I figured this is a really cool, sought-after hypercar, the all-new, another all-new McLaren. I figured it would be really sought-after, but it's not. This was actually kind of a dump bin warmer instead of a peg warmer. If you have multiples of a car in a dump bin, why not just call it a dump bin warmer? So, and another McLaren. We have 2 McLarens in this batch. Now the P1 in white, which I also saw a lot of in the dump bin. Very cool, especially with the front and rear detailing. Because I remember this car got a lot of crap last year when they released it in the Cars and Donuts series, and they didn't detail the iconic taillights or that center exhaust. So, next up, a highly anticipated casting. It's very tricky to find. The R30 Nissan Skyline recolor in silver and black. I actually saw like 5 of these in the dump bin. I'm like, really? It actually caught me by surprise. I didn't expect to find so many of these because this is such a desired casting that I figured they all would have been gobbled up. And then the last one, which I didn't peg yet because I don't really want to peg it yet until I find a better one, because this one's damaged. It's the other highly anticipated Nissan Skyline in the batch. It's the R33. I mentioned earlier that Publixes are just now starting to get H cases, and this is where I found it. And you could tell that because the US packages have the 50th anniversary logo on them, whereas the international blisters don't. And this one's kind of interesting because you see that little gray strip on the very bottom? That's actually a chunk of paint missing on the car, on the side skirt. You see that? It was the only one there, but I didn't want to get it to begin with because it was damaged, but because it has that slight error, I figured, you know what, why not? And I'll just keep an eye out for a better one. So there you have it. I mean, it's kind of late because the H case has actually been out for over a month, but I just now found them within the last few days. So they're new to me, but not so new to a lot of other collectors. Because right now what's hitting supposedly hitting Walmarts and Targets right now is, of course, the J case, which has the really cool Volkswagen Cool Combi as the regular treasure hunt in a Peace and Love generation livery, and then the Super is going to be the really cool magenta 52 Chevy. So I'll keep an eye out for that, but I highly doubt I'm going to find that. I'm not in a million years. So because my luck with Supers is very little to none. So there you have it. Oh wait, hang on, real quick. To go along with these cars, I found this new DC Comics series. I managed to hit a whole actually 3 complete sets of these at a Walmart out of town for me. So of course, naturally, I got the Volkswagen Type 1 panel bus with all the superheroes on it. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and the Green Lantern. And then I got the other cool van, the Green Lantern 66 Dodge A100. Very cool. These are going to be easily the most sought after castings, but number one is definitely the VW, because anything VW is going to be very sought after. But there you have it. Take care and happy collecting.